Hello, Easy Nation, and welcome to episode 20 of the Darth Easy Show. So, guys, thank you once again for joining me on another episode of the Darth Easy Show. And this is episode 20. That's right. We have made it 20 episodes into the Darth Easy Show. When I started the episode back at the first week of May when summer was here, it felt like such a long time ago. Well, not really. It just felt like it was yesterday. But I can't believe I'm already on episode 20. That's crazy. So, as I said in like 5 episodes ago, every 5 episodes, I will retell you how the show works. It will work like this. I have on my YouTube channel at Darth Easy. Make sure you go subscribe there right now. The way my YouTube channel works is I have reviews of all kinds of things. I review movies. That includes movies that come out in theaters this week. And also, so I review, that's mostly what I review. That's the bread and butter of my YouTube channel. I guess that's one way to put it. But every Sunday, I always have a review of a classic movie review. I talk about a movie that came out a long time ago. I guess a long time ago. I mean, that's the way it works. And it's a classic movie, either Rainy Cage picked me out for the Easy K show. It could be a movie that I'm trying to expand my film knowledge, or it could be a movie getting ready for a big release coming out the rest of the year. Then I move on to my second segment. I also review TV shows on my YouTube channel. This is everything I'm watching on TV. So this is not recapping everything that's going on in the world TV, because guess what? I don't have that much free time. I kind of do. I don't really do much. I mean, that's why I do this YouTube channel. And this podcast. But these are the shows that I'm watching. Right now, it's a little slim pickings as we are in the fall. As we're still waiting for fall to get here. We only have a couple more weeks until the big summer shows or the big fall shows come back on. Then I will talk about video game. This is usually the part of the show where I'll be skipping. But this is any video game that I'm playing right now. And I actually do have something to talk about this week. So stay tuned to that. Then I talk about anime. Anime is the popular Japanese cartoon form that I watch. And right now I'm watching 2 anime, but only 1 came out this week, so stay tuned. Then I talk about the book I'm reading. And as my viewers will probably tell you, that I'm really a slow reader, so it's a segment of the show that doesn't last long. And then I talk about upcoming. This is when I talk about the upcoming movies coming out next week. So guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy another week of the Darth Easy Show. And if you were confused, go back a minute or two and remember what I just said, or wait 5 weeks and I'll tell you how the show works once again. So now it's time to talk about movies, and as always, this is the main event. All right, so the movie I saw this week in theaters is the movie It. Now, it is a movie that I saw the miniseries when I was a kid. Actually, I saw it when I was like 5 years old. And this is a movie that when I was 5, my horrible cousins that I had, forced me to watch this movie or TV series or whatever it was. And I was scared of clowns for a long time. I mean, I was scared to death of clowns because of it. I mean, you have a clown that eats people. What's more terrifying to you, who eats kids? Being 5 years old and you hear that, you're just like, holy shit, that's terrifying. Oh, no, I do not want to see this. And I was really not looking forward to watching it, because I wasn't even going to go see it, to be perfectly honest. I was like, if it gets like a 60 or 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm not going to be seeing it, because, hey, even if it's shitty, like the original one was, I'll probably be scared out of my mind. But the movie was actually, I heard it was pretty good, so I had to force myself to go see it. And I have to say, this movie was really, really good. I'm surprised how much I actually like this movie. First off, let's just talk about the cast of this movie. I thought all the kid actors were actually really, really good in this movie. There were some of them I thought all had really good chemistry with each other. And when you're dealing with kid actors, and that's what mostly this movie is, because there's not really an adult in this movie. You have maybe 1 or 2, and then you have the clown Pennywise. I'll talk about that in a minute or two. But the kids I thought all had great chemistry with each other. My favorite kid in this movie was probably the the kid with glasses, Wolfguard or something. I think that's what his name is. But he was in the TV show Stranger Things. I wasn't crazy about Stranger Things, but I really liked the kids in the movie, and I thought he did a really good job in this movie. I thought he nailed a lot of the comedy in this movie. Other things about what makes this movie really good, the comedy. Let's just talk about that right now. This movie was a lot more funnier than I actually thought it probably was going to be, or probably should have been. But I thought it worked really well. These kids say stuff that really kids don't really say, but hey, deal with it, I guess. And then one thing I also really liked about this movie was that it reminded me a lot of like a coming of age story. Jeremy Johns on YouTube said it best. This movie is The Goonies meets Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I talked about The Goonies a few weeks ago on this show, and I had to say I didn't like that part of the movie. But you also have to realize Stephen King wrote other stories other than the horror-ish things. I mean, he had stories like Stand By Me. Stand By Me is a coming-of-age story. And this is what it reminded me of, this movie. It reminded me of a coming-of-age story about this group of kids. They're coming together. They're facing their fears. And let's just talk about Pennywise. Let's get out of the way. He was creepy as fuck. He was talking over the lip, and when he was talking, he was drooling or something, and it completely scares. It just the way he's talking. Yeah, whenever you first see him, when he's offering the balloon to Georgie, and he eats his arm. This reminded me a lot of Alien. It reminded me of the Xenomorph. I was just like, holy... when that happened, my eyes just went, whoop, they're big. I just was like, oh my gosh. The movie wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, but it did scare me. This is... I don't usually get scared of horror movies, most of the time because I feel that they are gimmicky. And this movie does have its cliche horror things to it. But I did like It. I like the monster It, or Pennywise, the dancing clown, however you want to call him. He reminded me a lot of one of my favorite film franchises, Harry Potter. He reminded me a lot of the Dementors, or a Bogart. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, you meet these dark creatures called Dementors. And what a Dementor does is that he'll suck your soul a little away, and you'll remember the thing you scared the most, or it'll bring up the thing you were scared of the most. And it preys on your fears. The more powerful your fear, the more powerful they are. And that's what it was. This is also a little spoiler, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, I recommend not checking it. I recommend skipping a minute or two. You have been warned. But it is basically, he's trying to get the people as scared as possible. He's kind of fattening them up so much, and then he can eat them up. And it was a very, very interesting movie. I really like this movie. Make sure you check out my full YouTube review. It should be up Thursday. I'm making no promises, but hey, there you go. And now it's time to talk about the classic movie review of the week. And speaking of horror, I guess this isn't really a horror movie, but it's more of a thriller, and it's from the great Alfred Hitchcock. Consider his best movie of all time, on the AFI's top 10 movies of all time, Vertigo. Now, Vertigo was a movie I've never seen before. But a few weeks ago, I reviewed North by Northwest. I'm forcing Rainy K to watch it this month on the Easy K show in September. I hope he likes it. He may not. He may like it. He may not like it. But Vertigo is a story. It stars James Stewart. James Stewart is a ex-detective who finds out he has vertigo. Vertigo is fear of heights, and he's chasing and. He is tracking this woman down because she starts doing stuff mysteriously. The thriller of this movie I really like, but I wasn't overall impressed with this movie. I give this movie an A- on my YouTube channel on my review of the movie, and I liked Vertigo, but I was a little underwhelmed. I was expecting a little more from it, but some of the some of the sci-fi kind of, or I guess elements to it. What I really, really liked, it's kind of hard to explain. It took me a day or two to actually record this review because I didn't know really how I felt about the movie. So, Vertigo is a very good movie. If you have not seen it, I recommend checking it out, but it's not for everybody. I will say that. Now it's time to move on to the next segment, TV. This is everything going on in the world of television that Darth Easy is watching. And at first, we got to talk about Big Brother 19, episodes 33 through 35. So this is probably the best week of This is probably the best week of Big Brother this season. Not saying much. The power veto was as expected. Of course, you're seeing Paul. He is basically manipulating the house guests to throw the veto so he can take himself, so he can have all the power this week. And what's crazy about this week is the one person to figure Paul's game out is Josh. Josh is one of the biggest idiots I've ever seen on Big Brother. Yeah, he's figuring out. And he's the only one. And you see that this week. And the best part about this whole week of Big Brother was that he tells, he is playing in the, they vote out Jason. They make it a 2-2 tie, puts all the blood on him and Christmas' hand. And he goes, and guess who goes home? Josh. Or not Josh, I mean Jason. Jason walks out the front door, doesn't even say a word. And he is so shocked. He just couldn't believe what happened. It was such a great moment. It was a great blindside. You don't see blindsides as often as you do in Survivor, because in Big Brother blindsides they just they happen, and then they don't. Survivor, they happen every day. Big Brother, they don't ever happen. But it was nice to see a cool blindside. Thank you, Big Brother. I hadn't seen a really good blindside probably since Dan Gieslin's blindside to Shane, I think that guy's name was. So everything else about this season, I'm looking forward to it ending. I might be doing a also this week. Josh won HOH. He nominated Alex. Alex is probably on next out. We'll see how the veto plays out, because if someone gets a veto, then Paul could go up and Paul could go home. He could go home. If they're smart, they'll take him out. But hey, Paul's made it to the final 5. That should be enough said. Now let's move on to Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Season 4, Episode 23, Presidential Pardon of Joe Arpaio. I think that's how you say his name. So this week on John Oliver, it was a few week break. He was talking some stuff about Trump. He was talking about the hurricanes. But mostly he focused this week on Donald Trump giving a pardon to Joe Arpaio, which is, I think, despicable. Human being who basically put people in jail who just because of the way they looked, and Donald Trump was like, I'm going to give him a pardon, even though he broke constitutional rights. So basically what Donald Trump is saying, fuck the Constitution and fuck you. That's basically what he's saying, and I agree with John Oliver I agree with a lot of things he's been saying about Trump and his administration. I am a Democrat. People at work make fun of me about it, or they just don't understand it. But hey, I don't agree with a lot of things. Actually, most things Donald Trump has done as president. And this is just another one. Throwing out a pardon in his first year in office for a man who broke constitutional rights, who's a freaking criminal, it baffles me. And hey, let's just throw let's just throw people in concentration camps. That works out, right? I mean, let's not repeat our history, right? Oh, wait. All right, now it's time to move on. Before I go, I haven't decided yet on how I'll handle the Big Brother finale. I might wait till Wednesday next week to do the Darth show. I'll be seeing 2 movies. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. But I might wait to do next week's episode on Wednesday. I haven't actually decided yet. So if you would rather, if you're watching this show and wanting to hear just I'll be talking about the Big Brother finale either next week or the week after. I might just do it Wednesday, but I might do it so that way I don't have to do it the Darth show so late. So we'll wait and see. Now it's time to move on to video games. This is everything going on in the world of video games. I just bought me a new video game, and that is Pokemon, or as some would say, Pokemon! Alright, so I just got Pokemon Sun. This is a game that I've been wanting to play for a while. I've been in a Pokemon mood. I charged my DS. I've been playing Pokemon X a little bit. I got to the point of almost beating X again. What I like to do is I do Pokemon Bank. It's $5 a year, and then I catch random different Pokemon, and then I can train them and form a different team every time. So I really like doing that. But now I decided to play Pokemon Sun, the Generation 7 Pokemon. I've been playing Pokemon since Pokemon Red. I played them all, and I love Pokemon. It's just it's the easiest RPG to ever play. It's the first RPG. It's really the first video game I ever played. And I watched anime when I was younger. But basically, Pokemon, you have you get your Pokemon, you catch them, and then you try to get the gems. This game's a little bit different. You have a some of the Pokemon are different, but you don't have 8 gems. You have 4 kahunas, which I guess are basically gems. It kind of reminded me of the Orange Islands from the second season of Pokemon, the original series. But I'll talk more about it as the weeks go on. I'll probably have the game beat by next week. It's just sometimes Pokemon games I just get really obsessed over. Now it's time to move on to anime. This is everything going on in the world of anime. So this week on anime, I was hoping there would be a new episode of My Hero Academia. Unfortunately, I did not get that new episode, so I'll talk about next episode next week. There's only, I hear, 5 more episodes, so I'm kind of sad about that. Or actually, there's only 4 more episodes, so 1, 21, 22, 22, 3, 4. Actually, there is 5 episodes. I can't count. So, this week on Boruto, we have Boruto, episode 23. Bonds come in all shapes. In this episode, the group of Sarada, Sasuke, Chocho, and Naruto head to rescue Sakura. Sakura is fighting the Shin clones, and you just see Sarada. She sees her dad, and it was a very, very cool moment in this episode of Boruto. I really like this series, and I really like Sarada as a character. And one thing I like about Sarada, and what you'll see in Boruto later, is that they kind of switch the roles. Sarada wants to be more like Naruto, where Boruto wants to be more like her dad, like Sasuke. So it's going to be interesting to see how the series goes along. I'll be interested as the show continues. I'm thinking they're getting ready to graduate school, so we'll be seeing them go on to becoming ninjas and forming their own teams. So it'll be interesting to see as this show goes along. And that ends Anime 7. Now it's time to move on to books. I've been reading Star Wars Inferno Squad, a very good book. Haven't really read much. I read like a little bit of it this week. But I can't really, there's no update this week on Star Wars Inferno Squad. Sorry, guys. Now it's time to end the show with my upcoming segment. This is everything coming out in theaters next week, or this week. So actually, by the time I'll be watching this, it will be, by the time this comes out, let's start over. These movies come out Friday. I will not be seeing them until Tuesday. I'll talk about this on Tuesday or Wednesday whenever I decide to upload the next episode of the Darth Easy Show. And the first movie to talk about is Mother! This is Mother! Jennifer Lawrence movie, Javier Van Damme, Ed Harris, Rene Russo. This is a, horror-ish or thriller-style movie by the guy who directed Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan. I've never seen those movies, and I've already heard this movie. I just saw a tweet from Andy Signor, guy I follow on Screen Junkies. Actually got a picture of him when I did when I went to Star Wars Celebration. That was really cool. He's a creator of Honest Trailers, but he just said that he almost walked out of Mother because he feels like some of the reviews I've been hearing, it's style over substance. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know if this movie's going to be good, but I haven't been the biggest Jennifer Lawrence supporter. As Rainy Cage would call me, I'm a Jennifer Lawrence hater. But I love Silver Linings Playbook. I love her in First Class, X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past. But I think some of her movies lately have not been that great. Passengers, I didn't think was that good. I really did not care for... I really did not care for... I did not care for Passengers. I really didn't like her. I thought she was fine in American Hustle, but I did not like her in Joy. I thought her Oscar nomination was not deserved. It's just... The only thing good about that movie was her, but the rest of the movie was garbage. And I just couldn't care for the movie that much. So I'll be seeing Mother, but I don't have too high expectations for it. But the movie of the week is the movie I want to see is American Assassin. This movie stars the guy from The Maze Runner. You got Taylor Kitsch in there, Michael Keaton, and this is really by the number assassin movie. You have a guy, he loses his thing in life he loves, and he decides to go fight terrorists, I guess. And you have Michael Keaton in there. He's kind of his Mr. Miyagi. He's training him to become a good assassin. And this movie looks really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And that's it for the Darth Easy Show, episode 20. So, guys, make sure in the comment section below, however you're watching this, tweet me at DarthEasy2. Tell me if there's any ways that I should improve the show. I'm thinking about starting another podcast. I haven't actually decided yet. I'll let y'all know. I'm thinking about maybe doing called Darth Easy News, talking about the news stories of the week. Maybe doing like once a week, every Friday or something, or Saturday at the end of the week. So I'll keep you updated here, but I haven't actually decided if I'm going to do that or not. Now it's the other thing, make sure you subscribe to me on my YouTube channel, and make sure you follow the podcast. I'm on iTunes, SoundCloud, and other forums, I think. So search at Darth Easy and you'll find me. So guys, until next week, all too easy, IOMC, and I'll see you next week. Bye!